The government have issued two major consultations on basically building safety. So we've got building the safer future, so the things that come out following Hackett, but we've also got a look at the regulatory reform order, or the fire safety orders. Some people will probably know it. And we covered those two consultations together. I think it's a significant piece of work for our building safety team. It was an 8-week consultation. Usually government consultations are 12 weeks, so things were done very quickly. We basically talked to every fire and rescue service in the country and had 43 fire and rescue services attend our workshops, and that's a significant response. Our response to the Safer Future one is 60 pages long, so it's really intense reading, but there's some general principles in there. Firstly, we don't want a two-tier system. Now, this system at the moment seems to be concentrating still on high-rise residential buildings. We've said right from the start that doesn't go wide enough. It needs to be places where vulnerable people reside, hospitals, care homes, sheltered housing, specialised housing, those sorts of things. But the principles need to go even wider. They need to go into the whole fire safety regime. We really want to change this not improving clause. So if you have a major refurb at the moment, you don't have to improve the fire safety. So you can refurb a building for 50 years and maintain the fire safety you had 50 years ago. We think that's wrong. We think that should be upgraded as well. Competence and right across the board is a major issue in all this safety, including our own inspecting officers and fire engineers. So what we want to do in the future is not just talk about compliance, because compliance can be changed and argued about. We want to talk about building safety. That is the principle. Make sure your buildings are safe. It's not just about compliance. Sprinklers play a big part. We want approved document B, which does all the statutory building safety, fire safety work done. And sprinklers, we've pushed sprinklers very hard for decades now, but there's some major things. So the height thresholds, there's an arbitrary 18 metres for height thresholds at the moment. Should it be 11 metres? Some properly research. We want, as a very minimum, sprinklers in residential buildings above 18 metres, and every building above 30 metres retrofitted with sprinklers if they haven't got them. The gateway process that Dame Judith Hackett gave, we very much support. We want that gateway process. We want responsible people in the UK that we can track down and hold to task if we need to. So major changes. We support most of those changes, but we want it to go further. We don't want this to be seen as a job that is done. This is the start of improving our building stock, the start of improving fire safety in those buildings, and the start of making sure people don't have to worry about the places they live in the future.